Welcome to the buzz in Centurion's heart, where every single story finds its mark. Hear the laughter and the whispers too. On Talk of the Town, it's all about you. From the streets to the square, we're spilling the tea. Local stories, local laughs on your TV. Tune in every moment, so much to see. Talk of the Town, where you wanna be. Gossip and glory under the sun. Chatting with neighbors, fun's just begun. Tune in tight and never miss a beat. Talk of the Town, where the news is sweet. From the streets to the square, we're spilling the tea. Local stories, local laughs on your TV. Tune in every moment, so much to see. Talk of the Town, where you wanna be. From Turian tales and vibrant faces, everyday heroes in local places. Join the talk, it's you and me. Talk of the Town's the place to be. From the streets to the square, we're spilling the tea. Local stories, local laughs on your TV. Tune in every moment, so much to see. Talk of the Town, where you wanna be.
Good evening, Centurion, and welcome back once again to Talk of the Town on this, the 18th of December 2024. We are indeed privileged to once again have a in-studio audience tonight. Welcome to all of you, and then also welcome to our guests. They'll be introducing themselves shortly. And also Tanya, welcome to you, my co-presenter for tonight. It's a privilege to have you on set as well. Before we get going, I think we need to also thank our sponsors and those that are helping us in making this possible and continuing what it is that we do at We Are Centurion, the dream, the vision that we run with, and everything that we are looking forward in terms of that too. So thank you to each and every one of those sponsors. Thank you for strengthening our hands, and thank you for believing what it is that we do. And in that way also being a part of making the difference that we want to see and being that difference, even if it is in the We Are Centurion way, to make those differences differently. Thank you so much. Without further ado, to my left we have Jaco Botha. Welcome, Jaco. It's a privilege to have you here.
Thank you, Andre.
If you can briefly tell us where you're from, what it is that you do.
Thank you. I'm Jaco Botha from Okage Investments, trading as Business Accounting Solutions. I'm a financial manager, accountant. I'm born and raised in Littleton, Centurion. There you go.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Ronnie, with all due respect, I think introduce yourselves and also the special guests, if I may ask.
Okay, Ronnie Magic. I have print factory. That's my profession. My passion is the dogs. I have two little guests with me today. This is Hero. Anybody who comes into the print shop knows Hero and his twin sister Kendra.
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 Welcome to all of you. Now for our studio audience, and there's quite a number of youngsters here, we just need to inform you that although they are here, Hero and Kendra, they explicitly asked not to perform tonight, but just to be in studio. So unfortunately, they'll only be sitting in their quiet corner. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? No, I'm only joking. No, I'm only joking. We are actually looking very much forward to what it is that Ronnie will be sharing with us with regards to these four-legged special ones. And there's also a bit of a demonstration a bit later in the show. So looking forward to that as well. Yeah, welcome once again, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, if I may, Ronnie, you said that it's your passion.
Yep.
I think that'll be the gist of what it is that you want to share tonight. But just as a bit of a background, where did it start? Where does it come from? How long have you been involved?
Okay, I used to be a photographer. I used to travel over the show, and I was doing a shoot for the police college. And I met an amazing lady there by the name of Linda Square. She had 3 border collies, and she competed in this dog jumping, and she won everything, and she was amazing. And I went to her and I said, please let me shoot your dogs. With the camera, of course. And we became firm friends, and she's the one that eventually taught me how to kick, train, and how to train the dogs. And that's how we got into the training of the tricks and that. And then we competed in agility, not these dogs, because they were a bit young for that. I stopped doing agility when I got old. And then I started doing the tricks, and I realized that through the tricks I could actually educate people. And that is the most important thing about training and having fun with the dogs.
Okay. If I heard you correctly, you said they're a bit young for agility, and then you said you stopped doing agility when you got older. So
Yeah.
is there an age bracket within which agility is done?
No, it's just that I got too old for it.
Ah,
you
okay.
get sore knees and sore ankles. I started when I was 50, so
Okay. Okay, well done. And for how long have you been doing this now?
25 years.
Wow. Well done. Well done. And you're still passionate.
Oh yes, of course.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Lots of dogs need to be rescued, so
Are they rescue dogs then?
these are all rescue dogs. All my dogs are rescued. They all came from some unfortunate homes. Some were picked up in the streets. Some were rescued from shelters. Some were taken from backyard breeders.
Sure.
They all came to me. I didn't go for the dogs. These were given to me. I got a call one day from Animal Ambulance, Marie from Animal Ambulance. She says, I got a little dog. He can't walk. Do you want him? And I originally said no. And then about an hour later, I phoned and said, yes, please. And then when I got him, I took her as well, because they would have just bred with her. Not Animal Ambulance, the people that she was rescuing from.
So who are you referring to, the little one?
These two. This is Hero.
Was he the one she phoned you about?
Yes. So she
Wow.
said, do you want this dog because he can't walk? So I said, yes, I'll take him. Eventually. I didn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
in the beginning because I already had about 14 dogs at the time. But
Yeah.
I took him, and then when I went to collect him, his sister was there, and I just took her.
Oh,
Wow.
So,
there was a little hero-sized hole in your heart.
yeah, I mean, he's whole 1.2 kilos.
Oh.
And he's got a nice comma.
Come on.
Oh, that's so precious.
Tanya, I'm sure you're jumping for joy here, because I know you're
Yes.
quite passionate about rescuing
Yes,
animals and getting them back together with their owners and so on as well.
Yes. So where do you get all these dogs from?
Yo, must I list them? Camo she's my deaf dog. If you can see some of the pictures behind me, the brown one. She's completely deaf. And a guy walked into my shop one day and wanted to sell her. And I refused to buy her because we don't buy dogs. That's
Yeah.
something we just do not do. Dog and buy in the same sentence doesn't work. But in the end, I kind of capitulated and I gave him some money for taxi fare. And it was about 4 or 5 months later, we were performing at the Rand show, and I realized that this dog was actually deaf.
Oh.
So that's how I got Camo. Khaleesi was born in the veld. Z was also from a shelter. So yeah, they come. They come.
Yes.
They come.
Passion brings them to you.
Yeah.
The animal distribution system.
Yeah. And you know, the dogs I seem to get, I seem to be a magnet for, shall we say, not physically challenged, differently able. Differently able.
But they find the right home with you.
But also in the shows, I'm able to connect to children And sometimes adults that also aren't perfect.
Yes.
And being like this, he is perfect. That means everybody, in anybody's eyes, is perfect.
Beautiful.
There's a little spot for each of us.
I'm sure that what it is that you are wanting to demonstrate to us a bit later will also pick up on the passion that it is that you speak with. It's evident in your voice, it's evident in your body language, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in what it is that you are wanting to show us as well. Jaco, you introduced yourself briefly. Where does your passion lie?
Yeah, from as a young boy running around in the street selling goods, I always knew there was something more to me than just the normal guy going to the office 8 till 5. So I studied business management and then found myself in the accounting field for several years. And I started my first business at the age of 26, which unfortunately then failed here or down.
Unfortunately.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I've learned so much after the first time. Where to put my focus to, how to do the things, and now to help other new upcoming business owners to do the things the right way, first spot on, and as cost effective as possible. Help them structure a business, help cut them costs, all those things that involves a company to be self-sustainable and going from strength to strength every year. Ja, so dis waar my passie lê in die sin van besigheid en om mense te kan sien en hulle te kan help. Dit is meer as net om 'n besigheidseienaar myself te wees, is ook om Centurion as 'n geheel ook te sien floreer. Ek dink die wat nou al lank genoeg in Centurion is, kan bevestig deur die klomp klein plase en plotte wat in die omgewing was, wat nou alles hier ontstaan en hoeveel besighede het gedesentraliseer uit Pretoria uit en hulle self kom vestig in Centurion.
Absoluut, absoluut. En in terme van dit wat jy doen, Jaco, ek sê altyd ek kan hoofrekeninge doen, daarvoor het my oupa gesorg. Maar as dit nou kom by die fynere nuances van die balansstaat, dan het iemand soos jy nodig, maar dit gaan noodwendig gepaard met bepaalde opleiding en die Engelse woord is schooling. So hoe lyk daai kant van jou agtergrond? Waar het jy geswat?
Dis reg.
Ingenieur?
Ja, ek is by Centurion College begin swat besigheidsbestuur en toe swat ek by CIMA, Chartered Institute for Management Accountants. Ek het ook my articles gedoen. Ek gaan nie almal se name noem oral waar ek gewerk het nie. Maar die areas waarin ek opgelei is eintlik astronomies groot. Van prokureurs, auditeure, finansiële inrigtings, retail, you name it. Dit is nogals redelik 'n groot spektrum van soort van tipe maniere van rekeningkunde doen en dinge wat mense in ag moet neem. Dit is nie net van 'n balansstaat optrek en dan is jy daar of 'n proefbalans en jy trek dit deur na 'n balansstaat toe nie en al die verslae wat daarmee gepaard gaan nie. Ja, nee, so dit is iets wat ek glo geërf het by my pa en my ouma seker nou maar. En wat ek nou maar net gevat het en daarmee geloop het en ek geniet dit tot vandag toe nog, na 26 jaar.
So. Wonderlik. Ek wil net dit daar buite sit want ek dink en ek myself was ook op 'n stadium half in hierdie posisie of het hierdie siening gehad en dit is dat ouens soos jouself of jy jouself nou sien as 'n rekenmeester of 'n finansiële bestuurder of wat ook al die geval mag wees en ek maak die afleiding dat jy jouself amper meer sien as 'n finansiële bestuurder omdat jy so geheel benadering het, maar van die ander kant af gesien, van die potensiële kliënt se kant af, is daar baie maal hierdie gevoel van amper bedreiging wanneer dit kom by iemand soos jouself, want waar gaan hy krap? Wat gaan hy oopvlek? Wat se moeilike en ongemaklike vrae gaan hy vra? Wat gaan ek moet verduidelik? Ek doen dit al 20 jaar so, hoekom moet ek dit nou anders doen? Ondervind jy dit? Jy hoef nie nou in detail daaraan te gaan nie. Ek dink ons kan later oor seker vir die praktiese goed daarvan praat, maar jou glimlag sê vir my, jy weet presies waarvan ek praat.
Ja, nee, definitief. Ek wil nie sê elke besigheid het sy closets, skeletons in 'n closet nie, maar ongelukkig is dit so dat daar goeders verbeter kan word. Goeders wat oorgesien is as gevolg van tyd aspekte daarin verbonde.
Ja.
Wat 'n mens net vinnig kan optel en kan regmaak en wat ongelukkig nodig is om te doen om vooruit te kan gaan in 'n besigheid.
Okay.
Want as die autoriteite kom en daai dinge is nou nie in plek nie, dan gaan jy aan die kort end van die appels eet.
Ek hoor jou. Daai vrot appels vir my.
Yes.
Ja. Jy iets op jou hart dan, het lyk vir my of jy
Jong, ja. Ag, weet jy, ek wil maar net so weer by Ronnie hoor. Ronnie, why do you do what you do?
It's really about just educating people, excuse me, to have their dogs trained well, to
Yes.
behave nicely. We have a lot of dogs in the rescue organizations that are given away or given back to the organizations because they aren't trained, and just the basic training. People don't understand that a puppy needs to learn, to pee outside, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
He needs to learn to pee outside. He doesn't know that he's got to do it. And we need to just let people learn how to do very basic training. And we've got a lot of good trainers around, like Ella from Pausability, that you can take a dog to for training, for socializing, for puppy training. And it's important. You don't have a baby and leave it to lie on a cot all day for the rest of its life.
Yeah.
You take it, it goes to school. We need to do the same with our dogs. And our
Yeah.
dogs are family members. They are not an asset that you leave outside to guard your
Yes.
house.
There's shelters and shelters full of dogs that's been returned because their owners didn't know better than to get them training. Training is really very important. It's like training your kids to do certain things, teaching them how life works. You have to do the same thing with your pets. Otherwise, the poor pets they're the ones that are going to have to pay at the end.
And of course, the most fun thing about training is the fun.
Yes.
Are you still having fun?
Oh, yes.
Beautiful. Ronnie,
It's
tell us,
amazing.
there's, and I suppose there's arguments to both ends. When it comes to sterilizing our dogs specifically, seeing that we have dogs here tonight, what's your opinion with regards to that and your views on that?
Well, that's my pet passion.
Okay.
You need to sterilize your dogs, both male and female. A lot of people believe that they must only sterilize the female. But a male knows when that little girl's ready in about 5 kilometers, and that's when you have dogs fighting in your home. So you need to sterilize both your males and your females.
Okay.
And if you have one dog and it has 6 puppies, and those 6 puppies have 6 puppies, and those 36 puppies have 6 puppies, in 10
Sure.
years' time, you've got 60 million dogs.
Sure.
How many?
About 60 million. So you take 6 times 6 kids, bring out your calculators.
Okay, Jaco, those
6
are your
times-
maths to be
Yeah,
done. Yeah.
6 times
So 'n bietjie vinnig gewees daai.
you're getting 20 million dogs.
Yeah.
And there are so
Wow.
many unwanted dogs at the moment. The shelters can't handle them. So if we sterilize, we don't have to kill the results.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to sterilize our dogs, both male and female.
Prevention is
And it
better
makes
than...
it, the pets are so much better, they're so much happier.
Yes.
It saves them from a lot of diseases. It saves them when they have babies and they get mastitis and they have problems with birth and they've got to run the dog off to have seizures and things like that. Rather sterilize your pet, you're going to have a happy pet for 14, 16 years, depending on the age of the dog, 18 years if it's somebody as little as Hero. So sterilizing is the most important thing you can do along with vaccinations, initially.
Along with vaccinations, you said.
Initially.
There will always be more dogs to adopt, unfortunately. We hope and we work towards a world where there's empty shelters. But what is the reality out there? Why would you rather adopt than buy?
Well, adopting, you're saving the lives of dogs, really. I mean, if you go to a shelter and you adopt, there are so many backyard breeders, and I'm sorry to say this, but there are so many backyard breeders that keep their dogs in terrible conditions, and these dogs just have puppies and puppies. Their sole purpose is just to have puppies so people can sell. Some people may remember Smarty. He was a dog of mine that didn't have front legs. He used to sit up. I used to call him my publicity hound. He was in a crate for the first 4 years of his life. And even though he was disabled, these people bred him until somebody else
Sure.
rescued him. And
Wow.
then I took him. So you have a lot of unscrupulous people out there just breeding. And I hear this argument all the time. But he's so cute. Can we just let her have 1 litter of puppies? No. No, please don't let her have 1 litter of puppies, because that's what creates the 6 times 6 times 6 times 6.
Jesus.
And remember, they breed twice a year.
But may I ask you, because you now touched on, in inverted commas, perhaps you don't put it in inverted commas, backyard breeders. What are the licensing requirements for breeders? Just in short, if you know. And other than that, for somebody like yourselves, what are the legal or licensing requirements to do what it is that you do?
Okay, for the people that just breed their dogs, there's no controls. You have an organization, CUSA, which is the Kennel Union, for the breeders that breed specific breeds. For me, that does public shows with my dogs, I have to have a PAPA license, which is a performing animal license.
That's not a puppy license.
PAPA, P-A-P-A. Public, yeah, you know.
Okay, okay.
A state vet actually comes and checks on me. He comes and checks all my medication, all my paperwork, to see that the dogs have been vaccinated. There's rabies at the moment, so the dogs have to be vaccinated with rabies. So he comes once a year. You have to pay for the license, and he comes and inspects me and all my geduntes to make sure that I'm above board. That doesn't happen with backyard breeders. There's no control over people. But a backyard, I consider a backyard breeder even somebody who has a lovely, cute little puppy and allows them to have puppies and puppies and puppies. So I'm saying backyard breeder, but I mean anybody that just allows their dogs to have puppies because they're so cute.
Yeah.
And we all want those cute puppies.
But obviously there are registered breeders.
Yes, lots of registered breeders.
Yeah.
But
Responsible breeders.
Yeah, well,
the
that's...
good breeder will not overbreed the dog. They will breed once every 2 years, 3 years, or whatever.
Then I would just like to tell people out there, this is not her first time on the silver screen. Please tell us more about your experiences.
Well, not me, but the dogs. The dogs have done about 35 TV commercials and movies.
Wow.
Sure.
Going back for Gap started when he was about 2 years old. He did KFC and Hunselingus and Corporal for My Darling and Swat. Do you really want me to list them all?
Wow.
Not sure.
We should have put the red carpet out today.
Absolutely, eh? Celebrities.
I was looking at the photos and here was Gap in his little tuxedo with Stair Kennyland behind him when we did
Wow.
the premiere. Yeah, the film industry is fun. Also, because I have a PAPA license, I'm a wrangler. So I can wrangle dogs on film set.
On film set,
Wow.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll speak afterwards. Perhaps we can put some of that, or links to some of that in the description of tonight's episode, and then people can have a look at that. Yeah, that'll be good to see. Jaco, just to come back to you for the moment, Ronnie mentioned it now, that the industry in which she functions, if you do it correctly, is obviously regulated. But as is true for your industry, if you think of things like SARS and CIPC and I don't know wherever else you need to be registered and affiliated, and for yourselves, number one, but also from your position of giving advice to new business owners, what are the things that they need to be aware of in terms of being registered, regulated, licensed, whatever the case might be?
Well, first of all, let's see a new business as a basic newborn. You thought about name, think about 5 names beforehand, and then you finally decide on the first name. that's when you go to CIPC and submit those 5 names with jou mees voorgekeerde naam, heel eerste.
Most preferred.
Most preferred. Dan gaan hulle nou sien of daar nie enige, if there's any clashes to other names and conflicts and all those things, then they will approve the name. If there's a conflict, obviously they will reject it. First, your business needs to be registered with CIPC. You get a CC, you get a PTY Limited. From there on, CIPC already notified, once on the approval, already notified SARS. SARS already knows about your newborn being part of the world. Remember, once you registered a business, it's got its private entity, it's got its own legal entity. So that is almost as if it's a person on its own. That's why I refer to it as a baby. Then you start feeding the baby and go forth. Yeah, so like also with cars, you need to register your business every year, a license to be able to trade. And I've seen a lot of new business is actually in the process of being deregistered after 3 years, doing so great, and then have to catch up on all those old financials and not submitting the returns that they have to, the revenue returns that CIPC can actually see if it's a revenue-based company or not. So obviously the bigger vehicle you have, the more license fees you pay. So if you have a big company, it's going to be a little bit more than a small company. Most of South Africans, I think, do have small businesses on the side, and thinking about expanding. So think about over the Christmas week, Christmas season, everybody got bonuses from work. Think about putting your baby on the map. Put your business on the map. You can't get government contracts if you're not registered. You can't proceed. Your company can't grow if you don't have the simple thing of CIPC in place. That's basically step one. And just keeping up with your registration fees at CIPC. You can do it yourself if you are, I wouldn't say good enough, or you can brave enough, yes. Or just ask an accountant. You can do it next to no time. But make sure your month-to-month accounting is up to date. Otherwise, you have to catch it up as well. Because the accountant can't submit dummy information, because everything ties back to the revenue services. And if you falsify the information, it has negative implications for both.
Yeah.
So me as an accountant and you as a business owner. Remember, at the end of the day, it's not your accountant that takes the responsibility. It's got the responsibility of submitting the returns. But you, as business owner, must make sure those returns are submitted.
Well, to everybody out there, Jaco didn't want to say it, so I'll say it. You can do it yourself, or you can contact him. But I'm glad for people like yourselves, Jaco, because I'll be honest, I have tried it to do it by myself, and I very quickly realized that there's a reason for people like yourselves who has the knowledge, who has the skill, who has the qualification to address those issues. And,
Thanks, Andre.
Thank you to you. You see to it that I can braai in peace. But
True, like we Centurion Oaks do, eh?
Absolutely. Ronnie, just briefly, I'm aware also that you do branding, printing. You mentioned it in the beginning. Are those things that you were challenged with? There's just a moment there, guys.
We do branding also. We also help startups along with Jaco. Sorry, just let me pin myself here.
Perfect.
Perfect. As you can see, we've got branding. I love branding. For me, bright is you've got to be noticed. It's important. A lot of startup companies that don't know what they need in the way of printing. So we love helping startup companies to get themselves going. especially with labels. They don't know what needs to go on a label. Sorry, I'm just checking. They don't know what needs to go on a label, and we help them with things like that. I've been doing it for a long time, so we've got a bit of experience there.
So you can vouch for some of the stuff that he's just mentioned
Oh,
in terms
yes.
of having them done correctly.
Yes.
If I may add, I think in retrospect, there's so many business owners that are willing to help new and upcoming businesses that would like to show them the ropes and what to do and what not. You are welcome as a new business owner just to ask. Don't be scared. I actually get excited when someone comes to me and, listen, I've got this idea. Can you help and do this? Can you point me in this direction? Where can I find printing? Where's a lawyer? How can I start with manufacturing? Who do I know? You know, those type of things actually makes me happy because I see someone with all the energy involved that has what it takes to see his business lift off. I think you've got the same idea and.
Oh yes, I love it. A customer can come to me with their ideas, and I will often change their mind if I can, if I can say it like that, because I actually want to have a T-shirt that says something like, "I've done it before. I've made the mistakes. Listen to me."
Yeah.
And I think you'll agree with me. Yet we are Centurion. It's really our heart's passion to get our companies in Centurion with passion like these people and get them to take hands and to build a platform where we can get everyone to advertise their awesome products and services, and to help you build your new business. And if you are not glued up in certain areas, or you're not good with math, or you're not good with art, then there's some amazing people in Centurion.
But it's exciting when somebody comes to you with a new idea. You know, I get all juiced up, and I want to just do whatever I can, because I'm very fortunate. I've traveled quite a lot in the world, and I've seen so many things. And the average new startup person coming to us doesn't have that sort of experience, hasn't traveled, doesn't know. We were talking earlier on about bill of material. I know somebody that has a manufacturing company that has not a cooking clue what bill of material is, and yet they're making a product and selling it. So I get quite excited when I can help people do that, because I did it for such a long time.
True.
Yeah.
We all have our passions.
Yes.
Our passions, and as they say, if you can earn money from your passion, you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah. I think it's so true what you said, Tanya. Not only do we have a passion to get some of our business owners in the Greater Centurion into studio, hear their stories, experience the passion firsthand. That'll be step one. But step two is also for the people out there to be aware of the business owners in Centurion. Yes. We often have a joke in the office to say, but if we don't know about you, there are plenty other people out there who might also not know about you. Yes. And for that reason, something that we do here at We Are Centurion is the business directory, where you can literally become part of what it is that we do, list your business, advertise, and make sure that people can be aware of who you are, what it is that you do, what the service or the product is that you render, and in that way also be a part of the Centurion that you want to see created. And that's only one of what we do, but I just thought that fits in beautifully with what you just said. Maybe I should ask the question to the both of you. We spoke about some of the challenges, some of the requirements for new business. Ronnie, you touched on one or two things that you've gone through as a business owner yourself. I love what you said. I sometimes get to change their minds. Whether that is changing their mind or just improving what it is that they bring to you initially.
Inspiring,
fanning the flame as such in the correct way, or channeling the energy, if you will. But I want to ask the both of you the question. In your opinion, what are some of the traits of a business owner? What does he or she need to have as character traits in order to at least have a fighting chance of being successful? I think with what we've mentioned, it's evident that there are quite a number of challenges that will be faced. So we all know, some of us are made to have our own business, others are not. Some are made to work with animals, others are not. And I'm not saying that if you aren't doing what Ronnie is doing, that you shouldn't have animals. That's just, she does it on another level. Jaco does numbers on a different level to what I do it. But in that sense, what character traits does an individual need to have in order to, as I said, have a fighting chance at least?
Well, I wouldn't say it is necessarily set in stone. I think from what I can say, you need to be knightly. The characteristics of a knight. Courageous, honest, respectful, punctual.
Brave.
Yeah, well, brave, obviously. You need to, even if you don't have a certain characteristic and you see that you need it, work on it. Change that aspect so that you can become a better person yourself. There are several life coaches that can help you with it. Listen to people that have done it, succeeded, even those who have failed. You can learn so many things from people who actually did not succeed. But there's always a piece of wisdom that they can leave behind. In that matter of sense, be willing to listen to someone. If you can't listen to your client, you miss them along the line. You need to focus on what their needs and capabilities are. That I've learned in my trade. After several years, I didn't want to listen. I was going in my own direction, and everything just passed me by. I forget to look at the client. So for me, as a service rendering entrepreneur, business owner, that's one of my basic points I need to look at. And well, I like to listen these days. You learn so much about not only his business, but about the person as well, and help him on his way forward and become successful.
Ronnie, from your side?
Dogged determination.
I like that.
You know, I think you just have to persevere. If you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, and if you don't have fun along the way, it's not the trip's not worth it. So I think a lot of people think I'm wacky. I don't really worry about that, but you got to enjoy yourself, and you got to make the best of every situation, and you got to do the best what you can for whatever you do, and enjoy life. Maybe because I'm old, I can say that easier. But yes, you just have to carry on. And the idea of quitting, as many times as I've wanted to, I have never been able to. There are some very good reasons why I haven't quit along the way. There are some people in my life that have just been there, that haven't allowed me to quit without them realizing it. So in other words, it's not that they said, don't quit. I just knew I couldn't quit because they were there, if that makes sense.
A support structure.
Not even a support structure. People that didn't even know the reason why I was doing things.
Oh.
Sure.
Like the dogs. You know, okay, how can I quit when I've got 18 dogs at home to look after, sort of thing. So again, the dogged determination.
The support is
Sure. Well done. Yeah. Maybe I should throw this question over to Tanya, because I know, like I said previously, she's quite passionate about this as well. But we're sitting here indoors, and I know earlier today there was some lightning and thunder threatening and some rain and whatnot, and we had quite a bit of rain, lightning and thunder over the last 48 hours even. In terms of that and the effect that it has on the animals, as well as, and this is where Tanya, please jump in, but also not only thunder and lightning, but the whole issue regarding separation anxiety. Speak to us about that.
So many of you have pets at home that totally lose it when there's lots of noise going outside. And also with New Year's coming around the corner and silly season and people with their firecrackers and fireworks, we just don't know what to do with our animals. Do we keep them inside? Do we get them medication? How do we stop them from escaping our yards? Ronnie, I heard you're an expert. Can you please help us?
No pressure.
Please help us.
Well, I don't
what
know about,
can we do?
I don't know about expert, but I have worked out how to handle them. Can I show you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Which do you want first? Separation anxiety?
Okay, so separation anxiety would be when you are leaving and 5 minutes later your neighbor's calling, your dog's going crazy, I can't sleep. What do we do when we leave our babies at home? Because we can't take them everywhere. There's some of them that get hijacked with cars
do.
and all of that.
I do.
Can I
But
ask
it's your colleague. So what do we do if they're going through all of these emotions? We don't want them to go through all of that. What do we do?
Can I ask a question as a novice? Sorry, I'm interrupting your answer here, but before we even get to separation anxiety, just in terms of lightning and thunder and the effect that has on them, are all, again, we're speaking specifically with regard to dogs tonight, are all dogs affected by that?
No.
Are they affected in the same way?
No.
And what are the reasons for them being affected in the way that, well, we find in most homes?
Okay, so 90% of the problems with thunder and lightning comes with the barometric pressure.
Okay.
So the ear, the inner ear, these are twins born on the same day, same time,
Yeah.
brought up under the same circumstances. She's
Okay.
petrified of thunder and lightning. Oh, and somebody at the door.
And very aware, very aware.
And he is not bothered at all. So it depends on the structure of the ear. And the way you can help with that, of course, is if you have a place where they can go to. So you would let them go in the bathroom cupboard, under a cupboard, or I crate train my dogs. I have plenty of crates around that they can go into. The crates aren't closed. They go in there for a safety. Okay. They like bathroom cupboards and that because if there's still copper wire, copper tubing in the bathrooms, that helps with the barometric pressure and releases the pressure in the ears. Okay. Some dogs are just scared because they've been traumatized at an early age. So we need to desensitize them to loud noises and thunder and lightning. And there's things that we can do. We can either drug them or we can, what I'd like to show you a bit later is how we wrap them to reduce the stress of them. Sorry, where is she? Okay.
Right next
Come,
to you.
Kendra, come.
Right next to you.
I've heard that because dogs originate from wolves is where they feel safe is in a cave.
Yes.
So creating that kind of setting for some dogs, not all dogs, because they are as different as we are, that might help them.
Yes.
That's why the crate
Yes.
kind of helps.
The crate is just a safety space for them, and it's very easy to crate train. When they're puppies, and actually all dogs from puppies should be crate trained, you put their food in there, that becomes their safe spot. They sleep in there, you let them out, you take them to potty, and you bring them back, and they're safe. So crate training people think is a very harsh thing to do. It isn't, because if you saw when I came in, Hero was in his crate, he goes into his crate on his own, that's his safe space,
With the open
It's
door.
not
with an open door.
Yeah, it's a safe space, not a prison.
It's not, no, it's never punishment. Crate is never a punishment like that.
It becomes a choice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
They do it, yeah.
All right. I think you'll be showing us through your demonstration what it is that we could do and perhaps should do. Before we even get to that, I'd like to ask you, mention one or two things, or three, or four. But what is there that we should not do when it comes to those 2 points, those 2 topics?
Okay. The first thing you should not do is fuss the dog. So the moment the dog shows being anxious or anything like that, the last thing you do is, oh, show my baby, don't do, whoops, microphone, don't do that, mommy will help you, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Because the moment you're fussing that dog, you are exacerbating the behavior. You're making them, it's like a child, like we were talking, child falls down, you mollycoddle him, and then he thinks, oh, if I do that all the time, I'm going to get that attention. Dogs are no different. Okay, so if you fuss them when they are like that, I'm not saying ignore them, because if they are stressed, you need to do something, and you can do something by the wrapping I'm going to show you later, but you don't fuss them. You let them be on their own. Turn up the music. Start with the loud music a month before Christmas, a month before New Year's Eve. Turn up the music. TV loud, play, take their toys out, give them treats while you're playing with them. As the noise goes up, you reward them more. So you're rewarding them all the time for positive behavior. We don't punish our dogs, we reward for positive behavior.
Okay.
Setting up onto it.
So some nice loud O Fortuna with the drums.
Yes, yes. You start off slowly. As they get used to it, you reward them. You click, you know, a clicker. You reward and you click and reward. And as they get better and better at it, you'll advertise them to the loud noises.
And they'll feel like, okay, I'm
Yes.
not stressed, I'll be fine, I'm secure.
You can even start with 2 pot lids where you go very gently and make noise behind them. And if the moment they don't react, you reward them.
Sure.
And you make it louder, or whatever you do to make noise. Whatever, if the kids make noise,
But start slow.
Start slow, start low, and build high.
Awesome.
right.
Thanks
so
so much.
you're climatizing them to it. Yeah.
I'm interested in that clicker because I remember you spoke of click training, but we'll get to that just in a moment. I don't want to keep these youngsters waiting for too much longer. Jaco, just kind of in closing from your side, what are some of the do's and don'ts that you would perhaps want to leave with the viewers? We said at the beginning of the series, we said the subtitle for this series are Tips for December. So perhaps something that business owners can ponder on whilst they're lying on the beach or sitting next to the braai fire or whatever it might be, but give us some do's and don'ts, practical ideas or thoughts that you can share.
Okay, after you've opened a business, people always think, no, you need to have millions and millions, but you don't have to have. Once you start making the sales and renting the service and you get paid for it, put some money away and start building up a kitty. In a savings account, link to your business account after you opened up went to your best branch, whoever that may be. Open a savings account as well. Put money away for what if. I think everybody said what if during COVID years back.
What if I put money away?
I've put at least 6 months of money away. It would have gone better. I would have made it as a business owner. I know so many businesses, and everybody knows that COVID was a tough time for small businesses. I started the Business Accounting Solutions right before COVID,
Sure.
in January 2020.
Wow.
And end of February, it was COVID time. And stuck through it. So what I'm trying to say is, be positive. Don't give up. Live the dream and still make time for yourself. Even though you're going to work right through the night till 2 o'clock in the morning, deadlines to meet, make sure you can reflect on what happened. Make sure you have a good communication with your suppliers and your debtors, as well as your staff. Inform them what is going on. Don't just vanish and into thin air. Be an open book. They are as much part of your company as you are, and you are managing them. So that's what I want to leave with the rest of the people.
Thank you. Thank you. And I must tell you, when you previously spoke of character traits and being knightly, I thought that was what you were referring to, being willing to put in the long hours and working into the wee hours of the morning. But thank you for that. I do appreciate that, and I hope that those that have listened and watched and those who will be watching this over the course of the next number of days and weeks, that they'll definitely get value from this, and perhaps that you will get some new clients, because I feel that the fact that you have put yourself here puts you in that position to say, here I am, speak to me. So,
Thanks, Andre. I don't need to have new clients. If I can have one other person, a new business owner that I can help being successful in what his dream is, and then I'm happy.
Well said.
Then we can make Centurion a better place.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jaco. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ronnie, I don't, from my side, I haven't got much more to say. I'm sitting here in eager anticipation. Tanya, I don't know if you've got something more to ask or to share, but from my side, the stage is yours. Our audience are sitting on the edge of their chairs. So
Okay, so all I want to show you this evening is how to wrap a dog to help it to reduce the amount of thunder and lightning anxiety. Tanya, can I bless you with Jack Russell glitter?
Yes, please. Yay.
Okay, so this is Kendra. Whoops, sorry, just let me grab my mic. It's doing a little walkabout. So there's a lot of things on the market that you can use. You can buy a thunder jacket. Let me just get her. Okay? But the easiest thing to do is wrap her with whatever you've got. I have a pretty little scarf.
Ooh.
Kendra, you're going to have to wake up, my girlie. Take it in half. Round there. Take it over. Take it down round. Make it tight. She's so sleepy. This comes from a lady called Linda Tellington. She used to do this with horses, to calm horses down.
Wow.
And all you have to do is take that and tighten it. Kendra. She says this hour-long studio thing is a bit too much. Okay? And then you can just tighten it, and you just leave them like that. They will calm down within a minute or two, and unfortunately she's already asleep, but that's what will happen within maybe a minute or two. But the moment you've done this, you leave them. You let them go to their safe spot, you leave them, because you're not going to go, show my baby, oh you okay, my baby, oh, don't worry. Okay, we don't do that. Okay? So this is a long scarf. What I use on her, and she will come and ask me for it when there's thunder and lightning, is, oh, sorry guys, this is my knee brace. China Mall special, $40. I just take it and I wrap it. I don't like to wrap it around your neck. It's quite wide. If you've got a bigger dog, you would obviously use 2 or 3. You take it and wrap it around like that. Take it over. It's like swaddling a baby. And there you've got a wrapped dog.
Oh.
And she will go down.
It's like a tight hug.
Yes, that's really what it is. So it's very simple, and it doesn't matter what you use, it's the tightness. Obviously, we're not going to do it so tight that they lose consciousness, okay? You just have to do it so that they feel secure. I mean, she'll be asleep, more asleep than what she was, but within a minute or two of her stressing out, because like last night there was a terrible thunderstorm. We were actually here in the studio, and I had to bring her with because she was so scared of that thunderstorm. But within 2 or 3 minutes, this dog is quiet. And once they get used to the idea of wrapping, they will calm down much faster. And then you just ignore and you go your own. And then after, you go and do your own thing. And then after a minute or two, when they calm down, then you can just take it off, gently incorporate them back into the family, and it's fine. If you don't have one of these, and you don't have a scarf, you can get something like, it's disappeared, a crepe bandage. Sorry, I did have it here earlier.
Can I ask
So you get a
somebody-
crepe bandage and you do exactly the same thing. You would just take it and wrap it around them like this. You can look up Tellington Touch. It's a series of movements you make on an animal. I also used to use it when I did cat photography. I used to calm the cats down because they would be all over the show and I'd want to take nice photos. And by doing the T-Touch, they call it T-Touch, from Linda Tellington, it will calm an animal down. And a person,
if you do it the right way.
So Ronnie, will this work on the noises and separation?
Okay, separation anxiety. We unfortunately, accidentally, 90% of the time, train our animals to have separation anxiety. Because when we leave them, I'm going to step away. You're going to grab the keys and you're going to step away from the dog and you're going to go to her and say, okay, my baby, mommy's going to go to the shop now. You be good. You look after the cat. You don't worry about anything. And then you go. And what does the dog do? It says, Mom's going. What am I going to do? Mom's going. So what you've got to do is when you leave the house, when you leave home, you ignore the dog. If you've trained the dog to go to its spot or in its crate, you let it go there. You give it something to cookie or something, and just walk away like you are doing a normal thing like going to the kitchen. And then when you come back home, Tanya, what do you do when you come back home? You go, hello, my baby, so nice to see you. Thank you so much. That's what you're not going to do.
Oh no, that's what I do.
That's what you're not going to do.
That's what you're not going to do, because that's what then emphasizes the separation anxiety. So when you get home, you walk in, you put your keys down, put your bag down. Once the dog is quiet and relaxed and calm, you then can call it and love it.
Okay.
So you're setting up the dog for separation anxiety to start with, and then when you come back home, you're just reinforcing that behavior.
And it would probably also help with the dog being overexcited and making wee-wees and jumping up.
Okay, and the way you've got to train this is when you start, if you've got a dog that's got really bad separation anxiety, which hopefully we will stop because we're not going to do it from when they're a puppy, is that you would go out to the car for 10 minutes. And then go out for 15 minutes.
So they learn you coming back.
Yes, so they don't think that you're going to be away forever. It's a short period. You can even start with 2 or 3 minutes and then go and sit in the car on Facebook and then come back. And just walk in like nothing has happened, like you've just gone to throw the trash away or something. And then when you come back in, you ignore. And then you go out again a bit longer time and longer time and longer time. Okay. So eventually they get used to the fact that it's all right if mom's not here.
You teach the brain to relax.
Yes. It's all right.
Around
she's going to
movements.
come back. Remember, dogs live in the moment, so it's all right. She's going to come back.
Well, thanks so much, Ronnie.
Okay.
That was very educating. This time of year, there's a lot of dogs that get lost in the streets. Microchipping. Can we quickly talk about that?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
Yes, we can. You can go to your vet to be microchipped. Oh, not you, the dog. Well, you can do it to yourself as well.
If you want to.
You'll get known. Okay, it's a little chip that's about the size of a grain of rice.
Microphone.
Sorry, can't move around. Can you do the same? Is it okay? So it's the size of a grain of rice.
Okay, it's good.
And it gets put into the back of their neck with an injection, with a syringe, like an injection. And you then need to register. This is the most important thing about microchipping. You need to register. There are 3 or 4 different organizations that do it. They are all very good, and it's very important that when you get a dog, chip it as soon as you can as a puppy, because if it does run away because of thunder and lightning and it lands up at a vet, they can scan the dog and they can find you. That's the most important.
Just something interesting for people out there that does not understand this yet. So the microchip is just a little, like a little piece of rice that goes into the doggy's, the little skin. It doesn't hurt over time. It's a little pinch, like an injection. But it is not a tracker that you can track. What it helps for, if you see a dog on the street and you're able to, and it's lost and you see that you can't find its open gate, you can try and collect the dog and take it to your nearest vet. They have a little machine, a scanner, that they just go over the area and then it will give them a reading of a little number and where the chip was procured from. And if you did register your dog under your telephone number, it will show your name and the telephone number, and you can be reunited very quickly with your pet like that.
And also, every time you go to the vet, or at least once a year, get them to check that it is still registering.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes they do malfunction, so it is important to
Yes.
check that regularly. So
And sometimes chips can travel under the skin. It can sometimes travel all the way to elbows. So that is something funny for you guys to understand. But thanks so much, Ronnie,
It's a pleasure,
for
absolute pleasure.
educating us and for all the love that you're giving these little, and the second chances that you're giving rescue animals.
wouldn't be without
It's
them.
really inspiring to see.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you to the both of you. I think in different fields, but what it is that you do, as Jaco said previously, is part of making Centurion the place that we all dream of and want to see our kids grow up in and thrive in. So thank you. I want to ask both of you, and perhaps Ronnie, if we can start with you. Is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? Where do people get hold of you? Where can they contact you? Are you willing to share those details? Or?
Yeah, I do have a website. I'm not very active on it because this is not a business as such, but anybody that knows me can always contact me at Print Factory. I am there just about 24/7. I work about 14, 16 hours a day. And somebody asked me the other day, why do I do it? I said, because I love it. So, yes, at Print Factory, you can contact me at Print Factory anytime. And that's on all social medias.
Perfect, thank you.
And also come and visit this little
Yes,
cutie.
come and visit. People don't come to see me, they come to see the dogs.
Of course, of course.
Jaco, on your side?
Thanks, Andre. You can contact me via email. It's info@bizaxol.co.za. I'm going to spell it for you. info@bizaccol.co.za. My webpage is www.bizaxol.co.za. I also have a Facebook page. And if you can't get hold of me through there, 082-341-0789. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. I take it that's an abbreviated version of Business Accounting Solutions.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much once again. First of all, to our in-studio audience, thank you for having us in your space and allowing us to have you within studio. It was great. It was a pleasure. Secondly, thank you to all of our viewers. Without you, there's no reason for us to continue making these kinds of content. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sending out the message far and wide. And last but certainly not least, thank you once again to all of our sponsors and everybody that enables us to keep doing what it is that we are doing, and even that we are still wanting to do and planning for the year ahead. Thank you so much to each and every one of you, and we look forward to once again be in your company tomorrow evening at 7 with a new set of guests in studio and a lovely conversation to be had. Thank you so much. Enjoy the evening and be blessed. Goodbye.
Thank you.